The disappearance of Claudia Lawrence. On the 19th of March 2009, 35-year-old Claudia Lawrence stepped out from her home in York, England, and simply vanished. Since then, no evidence has been found suggesting she is dead or alive, but it is widely believed Claudia met her killer while walking to work that early Thursday morning. Claudia Lawrence was born in Malton, North Yorkshire, on the 27th of February 1974, to Peter and Joan Lawrence. She and her older sister Ali were raised in the Houghton area of York. Peter worked as a solicitor and Joan was a member of Malton Town Council and served a term as mayor of the town. The two Lawrence sisters had a comfortable childhood, and Claudia was privately educated at the York College for Girls. She later attended a local catering college and graduated as a chef. She initially worked in several hotels, but eventually she changed her employment at the University of York's Goodricke College, working as a chef in the canteen. On the 18th of March 2009, Claudia finished another of her regular morning shifts at the university and left at 2:30 p.m, beginning the 3-mile walk to her home. She had covered the same walk for weeks at this point, as her car was unavailable. Claudia was recorded on CCTV leaving the college. On the way, Claudia was spotted by a friend on Melrose Gate and offered a lift. Claudia was then dropped off at her home on Heworth Road at approximately 2:50 p.m. There was another sighting of the 35-year-old around that time, posting a letter nearby. Later that evening, she called both her parents, Joan and Peter, who were now divorced, separately. According to them, their daughter sounded normal, cheerful and relaxed. Claudia even made plans with Joan to meet on Mother's Day that weekend. At 8:23 p.m, Claudia texted a male friend, but after that, nobody heard from her again. The following day, Claudia did not show up for her morning shift. Calls to her went unanswered, so Claudia's manager tried to reach Joan without success. At 12 p.m, Claudia's phone was switched off, which we now know was done deliberately. Later that day, Claudia failed to arrive at a meeting with a friend, Susie Cooper. After realising she was not able to contact Claudia, Susie, who was getting increasingly worried about what was going on, decided to call her father Peter. Peter had a key to his daughter's home, so he went around to the house to check on Claudia, but she was nowhere to be found. He said, "I was worried to death, quite honestly, and was even more so when I went through and found that she wasn't in the house." As the situation was not in any way usual, Peter then contacted North Yorkshire Police on the 20th of March and reported Claudia missing. Initially, the police's movements were slow, as they did not consider Claudia as a person in danger, and there was no immediate evidence of a crime. Nevertheless, after police searched the house, they found that the only things missing were her mobile phone, rucksack, and chef's uniform. This suggests that Claudia had left to go to work in the early hours of March the 19th, but had never made it all the way there. An appeal was released, and 2 witnesses came forward stating that they had seen a woman with a man that morning. The first sighting was reported by a cyclist on Melrose Gate Bridge at 5:35 a.m. Claudia usually left for work at around 5 a.m. The other one was reported by a commuter who had noticed a couple arguing outside the university around 6 a.m. The man was described as skinny, about 5'6", and wearing a dark hoodie. The police were able to recover CCTV footage taken at the back of Claudia's house. At around 5:50 a.m, a suspicious-looking man can be seen on the video, wearing a black hoodie. This person has not been identified. Despite all this evidence, it was initially considered that Claudia had just left, possibly with a new lover or after a new job. It is known that Claudia had travelled to Cyprus several times before her disappearance, possibly to explore job opportunities, and she had a friend on the island. The lover theory was also quite popular in the beginning, based on Claudia's private life, and it might have shifted the focus from more important things during the investigation. As far as we know, Claudia did not have any long-term boyfriends throughout her life, but she did have many short-term, mainly sexual relationships, also with married men. Claudia was very discreet about this side of her life, and not even her own family knew about her affairs. But after they became public, she was quickly labelled as a good-time girl and a marriage wrecker. However, Claudia's family kept insisting the media was painting a wrong picture of their daughter and said she would have contacted them if she left on her own free will. The theory was eventually dismissed. The possibility of Claudia suffering an accident on her way to work was also quickly dismissed, leaving behind the options that she was either targeted by someone she knew or she fell victim to a murderous stranger. Despite not having any proof that something like this had actually happened, the police officially classified Claudia's case as a suspected murder 5 weeks after she went missing. In March 2010, the police searched various areas of York, including Heslington and land near the university, but no new leads were found. 3 years later, in 2013, a new major crime unit was able to recover additional fingerprints and a man's DNA in Claudia's car using advanced techniques. A number of arrests were made, including 6 men on suspicion of murdering Claudia, but they were all eventually released without charges. In March 2021, a fresh appeal was launched by police on the 12th anniversary of Claudia's disappearance. Detective Superintendent Di Maley stated, "In my view, there are likely to be several people out there who either know or have strong suspicions as to what happened to Claudia. For whatever reason, they have maintained a silence for 12 years. That is an awfully long time to carry such a burden of guilt. The longer you carry it, the greater the anguish you are causing to Claudia's family and friends. Please do the right thing. Come forward and speak to me." In August, the police began searches for Claudia's body in Sand Hutton, not disclosing what had led them to that particular location. But again, nothing significant was found. Unfortunately, Claudia's father Peter died in February 2022 at the age of 74, never finding out what happened to his daughter. Before his death, Peter participated in the creation of new guardianship legislation known as Claudia's Law, which makes it easier for the families of missing people to deal with their personal and financial affairs. Prior to this law, the families of disappeared persons only had the possibility to declare the person dead, which takes a long time to come into effect and can be an incredibly difficult decision to make. The remaining family and friends of Claudia Lawrence keep looking for answers and hope that one day she will be back home, one way or another. If you have any information that could assist the investigation, please get in touch with North Yorkshire Police on 101, select option 1, and pass details to the Force Control Room, quoting Claudia Lawrence.